You are listening to Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. Thanks for joining us. I am your host, Naomi Slater, and you have tuned in to Divine Couples, adding intimacy, passion, and healing to your lives. Rafael and Carolina are a couple in their mid-40s living in Bogota, Colombia. They have been together for more than 20 years and are parents of 3 young children. They consider themselves happily married with a healthy sex life and enjoying life overall. Coming from meditation practices, Rafael discovered Tantra several years ago and started working and moving his energy and discovering internal sexual ecstasy. Up until now, Carolina wasn't very enthusiastic in joining him in his Tantra path. However, during the last years, some close friends were having marriage issues and got divorced. Knowing that there was a lot more to discover and deepen in sex and intimacy, they decided not to take any risks and be proactive, asking me for guidance in becoming a truly divine couple. Hello, Rafael and Carolina, welcome.
Hello, thank you very much for having us.
Oh, my
Hi,
pleasure.
Naomi.
Hi, Carolina. I'm so happy that you guys are here and willing to share on your experience with me.
Oh, we're really happy to be here.
Yeah, so Rafael, you decided to turn to me for guidance on intimacy. What made you take the plunge?
Well, I have been meditating for about 20 years or so. So long ago, I learned to move my energy inside, and I discovered the ecstasy that the movement of the energy within the body creates. So through meditation, I came into Tantra and started studying and experimenting with conservation and cultivation of sexual energy. So like being in a stable and loving relationship, I started to try to bring Carolina into meditation and into Tantra. By inviting her like to read and to try to do some meditation, but I wasn't really very successful. She never got like really motivated about it. And well, you know that if the woman is not really committed into Tantra, then the man can't go so far.
Yes.
Yeah. So on the other side, as you said before, during the last years, we saw several close couples having problems in their relationships, like being kind of harsh in how they treat each other, and up to the point that some become divorced not so long before we started working with you. So basically, I felt that Carolina and I were together in a very good place. We were enjoying being together, enjoying life overall. But at the same time, I knew from my work, my meditation, that we could go so much higher, and that we could be together in even a better place than we were before. So then I ran into your podcast, and after listening to the first few of them, I realized that the pandemic had some good things. Like everyone was going into online kind of work. And I proposed to Carolina that we may do this kind of coaching or take some courses in Tantra. And she said yes. Like when the student is ready, then the teacher will come. So
yes. Oh. You guys were such a pleasure to work with. You guys are so special, and I really feel so blessed to have worked with both of you. And yes, and Carolina, I would love to hear from you. What were your feelings around having an intimacy coach?
I was very excited about having an intimacy coach because, as Rafael mentioned before, meditation for me hasn't been very easy. So getting into Tantra through meditation was difficult. But when Rafael mentioned that we could have a coach, a real life coach, it sounded very, very fun, because I thought it was interesting to work with you and being able to know you and to ask questions and to work directly with you. So that was very, very special. But at the same time, I was a little bit afraid of my privacy, because I tend to be a very private person. I don't post pictures of myself. I was a little bit cautious about how we're going to work with you, and if I was supposed to show myself or do anything uncomfortable for me. But I felt very well, because we were very open with you at the beginning, and you were very, very respectful about our limits. So I felt very comfortable in that way. And through our 3 months working with you, I must say that I've never felt anything like I was doing something that I didn't want to do, and everything was very private, and it was great. So it was a very, very good experience for me.
Oh, that makes me so, so happy to hear that. And yeah, I'm also curious to hear from both of you what some of the major challenges you were facing as a couple that essentially, made you want to look for an intimacy coach.
Well, I would say that I don't think we were like facing like real challenges. As I told you before, we felt like in a kind of comfort zone, enjoying life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, we have been together for more than 20 years, and we saw what was going on with some of our close friends and so on. So we were thinking that, I don't know, maybe life will get us tired of each other, and we didn't want to risk that. So we just decided like to talk with you and work with you, like being proactive, like don't wait until we become distant or we fall into a routine. Just like stay ahead of it and keep working in being together and being closer and being more intimate. I think that was what I felt when we decided to contact you.
Yeah. Carolina, do you have anything that you want to add?
No, I agree with Rafael. I think that we were looking forward to something else. Like I felt that for Rafael, meditation always has given him a lot of energy, and so I thought that we could try it together and to see what else was there waiting for us beyond what we were used to. I knew that there should be something else. So that was our motivation to work with you.
Yeah. It's so interesting because, in working with you, I really saw in many ways my relationship with my partner being mirrored back to me, because that was really why we started practicing Tantra also. It's not because we were on the verge of divorce, and not because we had a terrible sex life, but we recognized that things could definitely get worse if we don't do something proactive about bringing back the passion into our intimacy and exploring things on a deeper level and communicating more effectively. So it was really for us also about taking our relationship to the next level and making sure that we stay strong together, energetically, physically. So that's really beautiful. And I would love to also ask you, how did working with me change your intimacy?
Well, I would say that it changed it in many different ways. Probably everything is more intense now. And it is like more frequent, maybe more time, more pleasure, but at the same time, much more closeness, also more fun. I think that is like everything that was already good being like so much better. So yeah, I think it have an influence in every aspect of our intimacy.
Carolina?
Yes, definitely. I think that for me, it's not something physical. It absolutely takes it to the spiritual level. To enjoy your sexual life, but considering from the point of view of the spirituality as a spiritual experience, and how important is to work with your energy, so you are able to connect with the energy of your partner. And personally, it has been very, very great to realize how the energy works within the couple. And not only I'm not talking only in the intimacy, but I really feel that energy has shown through other areas of our life. I feel like the energy that we have created between us, it's something that it's showing in other areas. For example, in work, in our family life, with our kids. I think like we are in a very good moment. But I can feel that energy it's created in our intimacy shows in the rest of our life.
Yeah, in our last session, I remember that you mentioned to me that other people can really see that something is changed in your relationship. You guys are like back to being teenagers in love.
Yeah. Yesterday we were joking that maybe when we walk in the street, like little hearts are coming out of our heads, like in cartoons. I don't know. It's like, yeah, even outside intimacy, like, I don't know if it is just by chance, but like some projects that we have and we're kind of sleeping start to move and they're about to become real. So I think it's much more than just intimacy. Like it's like our life overall has been like turbocharged. I don't know. It's really it's a really great feeling.
Oh, that's so amazing. Yeah, I mean, look, our sexual energy is our life force energy. So, once you start getting that to move, things in your life start to move. They go hand in hand. So that's amazing to hear that from you both. Mm-hmm. So what did you learn that surprised you most? Rafael, maybe we can start with you.
Well, what I was more surprised about was to learn that I was already multi-orgasmic, like from my previous tantric work, but it really worked only sometimes, and most of the time didn't work. And now I realized that probably it was because I was trying to control by will, by physical power. Now I understand that I need to surrender, I need to release and communicate more. Of course, it is still a work in progress. But I think that was like my biggest surprise. I was also quite surprised about how quickly Carolina began to get in touch with herself and exploring connections that she didn't make before with her body, with her spirit, in how like sex is really involved with everything in life, and with the feeling of I don't know, spirit, God, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Carolina, she has some serious fire in there. She just needed a bit of a jump start.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And Carolina, what did you learn that surprised you?
Yeah, I really learned that I haven't had the time before to work with me, with myself, with my femininity. That has been really, really interesting to realize that I must be, and women, we must be connected with ourselves, with our body, with our spirit, and that has been a very interesting work for me, and how from that connection I have been able to really shine and to connect better with Rafael. So I think that the work that you do with yourself, it's like the key that you must work for getting into a better relation with your partner. So from my point of view, it's interesting to work with yourself, with your femininity, and then to be able to really connect with your partner. Also, the energy that we put in our relationship, in our dates that we had, I think it has really improved our intimacy and how the time that you put, like to be able to get together and to plan your dates ahead. I think everything is a step into working to improve your relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for that. And Carolina, what do you think was the biggest takeaway for you from the sessions that we did together?
I think to connect with me. I really, as I mentioned before, I think I have never really connected with my femininity. And since we started to work together, for me it was very interesting to get to know myself and to give time and to have like special times during the week when you gave us our homeworks, and to apart time for me, and especially to work with me. So I think that was the biggest takeaway, like to really connect with myself.
Yeah, it's so important. I think so many women don't take the time to really connect deeply to their femininity, and it takes a toll on the relationship.
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
What about you, Rafael? What was your biggest takeaway?
I think that it was that you just can't leave sex and intimacy only to your mood or if you feel like it or not. Like intimacy really feeds on frequency, on how often you are close together, and that you really need to let go of thought, let go of mental images. It's much more about giving and releasing that about taking. And as Carolina said, that means that sometimes you have like to plan and you have to set the conditions that will allow you to be close together, and then you just need to let it go, and everything will flow by itself. So not you really need to take to be conscious about giving time and setting the conditions for intimacy to work.
Yeah, and maybe you could also tell us a bit about how your tantric dates have been.
Oh, great. A lot of fun. I think what surprised me is like they are so different one to the next one. Some of them is like just playful, like sexy music. I don't know, like really just enjoying the time together, and other ones are like very deep, like with very strong connections, like with very strong feelings of oneness between us, both in body and spirit. I think they both, I mean, all of them have been great, and really we have really enjoyed them, both like sexually and spiritually.
Yeah, well, for all of those people listening, doesn't that sound fantastic? It's just to have these deep, incredible, intimate experiences with some mind-blowing orgasms along the way also. So fantastic. And just to remind everybody, Rafael and Carolina have been together for more than 20 years and they have 3 kids. So this is attainable. If you have trust in your relationship and, this is something that you're both committed to working on, this can really be your reality. You just have to say yes to it.
Yeah.
And Carolina, how were the tantric dates for you?
Yeah, I agree with Rafael. They were very fun. They were different, each of them between them, because some of them were fun. The other ones were very, very calm and spiritual. Maybe at the beginning, for me, it wasn't easy to find the right time of the day to do them. And still, for me, it's harder to get totally connected in the moment. But I have realized that for me, a specific time of the day is better, maybe in the early morning or at night, because I feel more comfortable. So I think it's really also something that each person must find what time, what works best for them. So once I realized that I have to be really, really into the moment and be calm, that everything's going to be fine, that it doesn't matter if I hear a noise or if the kids are calling me, then I can feel comfortable and then I can be really in the moment enjoying our dates. So that was something that I had to work with, but I think we're doing better. And enjoying. Yes, very much.
Amazing. And Carolina, how has it been for you to work with the yoni egg?
Well, it has been interesting because it's the first time that I work with a yoni egg. I didn't know that they exist really. So it was fun. I think you also have to be constant to be able to really know how to work with them. So it's a work in progress. We are, now that we have ended with our course with classes with you, I will definitely keep on working with my yoni egg. And I think it's something that should be with me for forever, for the rest of my life. So if it helps me to improve my intimacy and my connection with myself, I think it's definitely a good tool to work with for every woman.
Yeah. And how do you feel like your enjoyment in intimacy has changed, like your orgasmic potential and kind of your own feelings in intimacy have changed?
I think they're definitely the pleasure. It's stronger, and for me it's a different sensation. It's like really on a higher level than what I have experienced before personally. So it has been it has been very, very interesting how energetically you feel different. You feel different things in your body, in your soul. So it's really, really amazing.
Yeah, well, you have both learned the energetics of lovemaking, which is, of course, very different from just the physical aspect of lovemaking.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are so amazing, and I was really, really blessed to have worked with you. And thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me about this here.
No, thank you, Naomi, for all you did for us, and we really enjoyed. So, thank you.
We totally enjoy it, and we will definitely keep on working with ourselves, because it's something so important for I think for every human being. We have been blessed to have the opportunity to work with you, and that you have been able to guide us in this path. So it's great.
Oh, it was my absolute pleasure and honor. And thank you for all of those listening for taking the time to be with us on Divine Couples. If you need help with awakening or exploring your sexuality, feel free to reach out to me. I specialize in working with couples and women. Next round of Awaken Your Desire, my online course for women, starts on April 20th. You can enroll for the course on our website, www.divine-couples.com. If you're interested in receiving lots of free content, please connect with me on our social media page on Instagram, which is @divine.couples. Thanks so much for joining us. I am your host, Naomi Slater.